So I want to start this by talking about Lilith and Adam in the Garden of Eden. I want to look at this from a very common sense and symbolic standpoint. We see that Adam is angry with Lilith because he can't control her or have her bow down to him. This is showcasing to us that Lilith is the primordial dark energy, right? The true chaos being that couldn't be controlled by man. And this is why Adam is angry. Adam can be seen as a stand-in for white people in general. They get angry at brown and black cultures because they don't have the same knowledge, wisdom, and couldn't control them because they were one with nature. This is just quite apparent. Lilith is representing the dark feminine, or the chaos, the primordial potential that everything is birthed from, right? Adam being in line with God, the false light, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. Of course, he's not going to like an entity that he cannot control. The Bible speaks a lot about having blind obedience to God and his ways for really no reason at all other than worship, right? And then with the promise of going to heaven for blindly worshiping this being. But a lot of times we see God has the same attitude as Adam towards anything that he deems a threat to himself. I mean, even in the Bible, he says, "You shall worship no other gods before me or after me." This is from the political nature of religion at the time, where they were trying to demonize and have all the other religions take a back seat to Christianity. They wanted monotheism to be the way, the true light. What's even deeper than this is God is a vampiric, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess that's it. A vampiric spirit. He is designed to siphon energy from his cohorts and followers. We see this through the many cases that God is preaching to people to go to war, sacrifice animals, blood sacrifice on his behalf. This is all sacrifices to be made to him, a vampire spirit. We have Josh 10:11, Joshua 6. We have Leviticus 17:11, all talking about sacrifice to a god, where we didn't have that same type of sacrifice in the polytheistic religions, especially ones stemming from Egypt. That didn't exist. And because religion was political, it also teaches blind obedience to God. You should be, oh, no other gods before me. You know, you'll worship me or you will go to hell, eternal damnation, and everything. And it begs the question, if you notice, all of the fallen angels are ones that either, or are previous guys that they either demonize, or in the story themselves, they no longer wanted to listen to God, and then were fallen angels. God of the Bible has also shown us many times that he doesn't know everything. He didn't know, apparently, that Adam or Eve were gonna, or Eve was gonna try to eat from the fruit of the tree. He didn't know where Abel was after, or Abel was after he was killed, slain by Cain. There's a lot of instances where he's asking questions, but on the same token is an all-knowing God. Getting back to the ritualistic sacrifices, even the circumcision of babies was seen as a blood sacrifice. They still eat the blood of Jesus in the body of Jesus in church. The Bible teaches hierarchy, right? It teaches that there is one above, one below. It teaches and enforces patriarchy, having the man be the center of attention, right? The man is the center of everything. Masculine energy is the center of everything, which we know. Feminine energy is the center of everything. So when you see people talking about matriarchy and how it's going to be woman ruled, that's not what it's going to look like. It's feminine energy that is going to be taking over, not females. Because there's many evil bitches too. It's feminine energy, right? Which is the primordial energy, right? So God of the Bible is Yaldabaoth, the false deity who decided he didn't want to be or listen to Sophia anymore, Great Mother. And he decided to split off and create his own world. And this is the world we're living in. This is why we live in an imperfect world where in order for you to survive, you have to eat something or someone. And when I say someone, not literally, well, there's people doing that literally, but in order for me to win in the stock market, somebody has to lose. In order for me to have food on my plate, an animal must have died. Something always has to be sacrificed in order to sustain you. That's imperfect. When you go into the higher realms, there's no need for sacrifice because everything you want is pretty much instantly. And when you get into higher realms than that, there is no desire or wanting for things. You're beyond that. Now you're talking about pure energy, consciousness, and intelligence that radiates beyond the physical realm. This is an imperfect world. This is why we have the cycles that we have, the cycles of the seasons and the day and nights. That's all imperfection. True perfection is pure primordial darkness, right? As soon as God said, let there be light, that's when the problem started showing the fuck up. Even in God's 7 days of creating this shit, shows you he doesn't have infinite stamina because he had to take a rest. He created the trees before he created the sun. I mean, that's just common fucking sense right there. He didn't even understand common sense. This is why the world looks the way it does. This is why the people who are in line with those Abrahamic religions had to go on crusades and burn and pillage, rape and plunder, because it's taught in the Bible to do so. It's normalized in the Bible. Lastly, the teachings of Jesus were ultimately demonized, set to the side, and replaced by the teachings of Paul. Jesus did not teach to worship him. He taught you how to become Jesus. Once you master the 12 zodiacs inside of you, you become the 13th zodiac, right? 12 disciples and Jesus 13. You become the 13th zodiac, meaning you are now above human and animal nature. You're not supposed to fall in line and subscribe to zodiac signs. You are supposed to become above them. 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 is the geometric, that's the number that is the symbolism of this world. There's 4 elements, 4 seasons. 4 is the number, or one of the numbers that is the foundation of this world. Even the angel number 444 is the angel number of foundation, creation. A lot of people die or go through like a near-death experience and say that they seen Jesus, and what you're seeing is an egregore spirit that you've given energy to. So it now exists. And thousands of millions of people giving this thing energy for so long, it now exists. Just think about, if you watch anime, just think about Chainsaw Man, how the devils work. They are the culminative fears of that particular thing manifest as a devil. The darkness devil, the gun devil, the bomb devil, the this devil. That's all it is. So if you had a near-death experience and you seen Jesus, that's because you programmed yourself to see Jesus. It's that simple.